Hey guys, welcome to the Monday Night Live. Good to see everybody. Let us know if you're here. I think we've got 0 viewers right now. That's what we get for not advertising. Let me send
Uh-oh.
out a message right now. Oh, 2 people are here.
There's people here. Give us some likes.
Good. Let
So
us
what
know if you're
episode? This
here.
is the Monday Night Live episode 59 or 60?
This is
59.
59.
59. All right. What are we going to talk about tonight?
Today, I'm gonna teach you guys how to do a typical what do you call it? Carne molida
You're
with
gonna
rice.
you're gonna cook
Oh,
you're gonna
very
cook in front of
exciting.
us? Oh wow.
Usually
Yeah,
we talk
this is
about real estate, but
a
tonight
cooking and
we're a
real estate
cooking
show.
show.
Tonight it's a Don's cooking show.
McKenna, good to see you. That's me. Ambassador, hello. I don't know how to say that. Taj, I know
Hey
we're 3 minutes
Taj.
late. Sorry, we've been on back-to-back calls trying to make some money, do some real estate.
We were almost even later. Oof.
Yeah, Eduardo, good to see you. He's excited about your meal. Maria, hello, blessings to
Don, you
all.
gotta show the pot. We can't see the food. All we see is
There's
you.
nothing happening yet. There's just onions. I'm
Uh,
starting with the
Dude, that's the
onions.
base of a good meal. So
You
Yeah.
frita.
gotta you gotta get the onions right.
So what are the onions in a real estate transaction, guys? What's the base of a deal?
The deal. The
The
deal has to
deal.
be the deal. It's ugly. It burns your eyes when you look at it, but you know after you're done with it, it's gonna make you money.
I love it.
I'm excited about what's going on in Florida right now, and we'll see if it's going to actually happen. But the governor of Florida has announced that he's at least on board with eliminating property taxes, which I believe that would obviously be huge for people like us who own real estate there. But I think it would be great for homeowners and for renters, and I don't know how they pay for anything after they take away the property taxes, but
I don't either.
I'm
We have
I'm
a
on board for
surplus right
paying less
now.
taxes. Yeah, I mean, he was running the state. He runs the state really, really well. He's got our budget balanced. He's got a surplus. Um, the fact that he's even talking about it, we'd be the only state in the nation that would have no state income tax and no property tax.
That would be amazing.
I mean, I think everybody would be flocking to Florida, which many already do. But I'm gonna shoot a long content video about it next time I'm in the studio. All right, we got a question, I think.
Yes, Miguel. I'm in the process of getting a multifamily property in Puerto Rico under contract next week. The price is 120,000, but I'm negotiating 100K. The rent is 25,200 annually. How do I present this deal to a hard money lender? I don't think we're allowed to say on YouTube if we give loans or not. Is that right, Robert? Do you know?
I have no
Too late
idea.
now.
But we like
Um,
to partner with people on deals, and
we do.
we can set it up so that it's a hard money partnership. We've done them on the island. Um, if you get that property under contract, you can simply submit it inside of. Well,
Apex.
I would suggest joining Apex. That's where we're partnering with people and doing deals. So, um,
Yeah,
and
if you
just
want to
submit your
partner with
deal
us
inside
on
of
this
Apex,
deal,
and we'll underwrite it. If we like it, we'll figure out how to get you the money. Hard
but
money
let
on
me
the island
pull
of
up.
Puerto Rico. Let's talk about that, guys, because that's when you say hard money in Florida. What are hard money rates in Florida, McKenna? 2 points, 12%.
2 and 12 if you're new, and you can get as low as 2 and 10 if you've got a track record and have done some deals.
And in Puerto Rico, hard money is like 6 points and 15% interest. It's really hard. It's significantly more expensive. Um, some of the big institutional lenders will make it look like you're getting a better deal, but then they're just charging you more points. So it's very, very expensive to borrow that kind of money. But it's better to have the money than to not do the deal. It's better to pay the high interest rate and do the deal and make money than to not do the deal. So
I'm gonna, and Miguel, could you tell us, do you need a renovation, or are you, I guess it's already, someone's living in there, so you're just buying it cash and gonna keep the tenant in there? But let us know if you need a renovation budget, but I'm making a little spreadsheet here to look at numbers. Great. Typing on the wrong screen here. But just let us know where you're at on that. Typically, how it would work with most hard money lenders, you're going to need to come with some of the money. Depending on the deal, that could be 30%, it could be 20%, it could be 10%. It really depends on how you structure it. And then they'll pay for the rest. So on this one, let's say it's 20% down and they're going to lend you 80. So on 120,000, you would need to bring, anyone know that math off the top of their head?
80.
96,000. The calculator beat you.
There you go. $14,000 you need to bring.
Yep. So yeah, with a loan would be 96,000.
Oh, 24,000, isn't it? 24,000.
24,000. And then the payment on that, if it was 16%, would be that times 0.16 divided by 12 would be $1,280 a month. Your rent is at 25,200 is 2,100. If you're holding it as a long-term rental, you're going to need insurance. There's property taxes. There's other fees that you need to include in there. This isn't any crazy math. So it does seem like something where you could go and get a hard money loan. I think a lot of people would want to do that deal. And then probably the way you'd want to do it on your end, get control of the property, use the hard money loan, get it to a place where it's financeable through a bank, and you can refinance out the hard money lender that's charging you 16% into a bank loan that's charging you 7 or 8%. And it makes the math a lot better. So definitely it's a doable deal. If that's something you want to talk to us about, we put the link for Apex in the chat here. Send us a message, and we'll talk more. What else is going on?
I mean, hey, that sounds like a really good deal, though. By the way,
yeah,
go get that deal done. That's certainly worth buying. I'd love to know how many units it is, and I mean, anytime that you can make 25% a year on a long-term rental project, that's a phenomenal deal. Those are the kind of things we're looking for. Get your money back in 4 years. And obviously you're going to have equity when you buy that. You're going to be seeing rents go up over time. So it only gets better for you the longer you hold it.
Our next question is from Jay, Ambassador Jay. I presented the opportunity to invest in a newly constructed apartment building, 72 plus 48 condo units. Mike suggested I upload the presentation to the community. I would like to connect with one of the admins or Mike. The return is from day one, refinance between 12 and 18 months, and 2x to 3x by year 5. The project's in Montgomery, Texas. Minimum $50K for accredited investors. If you're using our platform to present, make sure that you have all of the right licensing on this kind of syndication / fund deal. But definitely, you can put the post in our community. People are interested in that kind of deal. We'd love to get a breakdown from you if you have projections or a pitch deck. I'd love to look at it.
I don't know where Montgomery, Texas is, so Texas is big. I'm curious to hear about it. Sounds like a promising project, though.
Let's see, Jay, are you in the community here? Doesn't look like he posted it, but he probably is if he was talking to Mike.
It could be in the Flip Flop Flipper community.
Yeah.
What's the Flip Flop Flipper community?
So I just
Never
put the
heard of
link
that.
to the Flip Flop Flipper community. Guys, if you want to talk to us more directly, we have a free community here. Here's the link, school, Flip Flop Flipper Real Estate, 31111. That is where there's 1,900 people that are trying to do real estate deals. It's a big network. Go Beyond San Juan was on Friday Coffee. Ah, very cool. Jay went to the Friday Coffee Hour. That's where you connected with Jay. Very cool. I'm glad that that is working out for you. Definitely make a post on it. We'd love to get more information. What else is going on, guys?
Don, how are we coming with the food? What do you got?
Got the
Oh,
beef
man.
is in.
Well, red sauce, huh? All right.
No red sauce yet. I'm waiting for that. I like the
What was the
beef.
red stuff? Oh, that's beef.
That's adobo. That's adobo and garlic, and then once it cooks up, a little bone broth, a little tomato paste. Then after that, corns and some celery, and whatever else I can find around the kitchen. See,
love it.
real
Wow.
estate, it's like cooking in the kitchen.
Okay.
You don't know how you're gonna start this project, but you know you're gonna finish it, and it's gonna be really, really good. So,
And the most important
Just say.
thing is that you start.
yeah, and it's not that you don't have the beef or the broccoli or whatever. It's about having the deal. The deal, you get the deal, you get the beef. Beef being money. You know. Oh,
Ambassador's asking if he can put the project in the chat. You can upload some stuff if you've got like a presentation or I don't know, a one sheet or something.
I think that there's some rules about what is it? Looking for investors in a public space like this. We need to have a phone
He said he
call
only
about it.
wants accredited investors, so
So then you're allowed to advertise for it.
I don't know. This isn't advertising.
Yeah, it is
look,
public.
it's as simple as this. The
Yeah.
flip flop
How
flipper,
about this?
Apex,
We're not
and none of
advertising
this.
for this deal.
Yeah,
I mean, if
thank
he
you.
puts it in
Exactly.
the chat, everybody who's on the call could look at it, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Put the link.
Ambassador
into
Jay,
the
don't get us
post and
in
we can
trouble,
pull it up
man.
here, Jay.
I want to see what the deal is anyway. And
Yeah.
I'm accredited.
I'd love to look at the one sheet. We can do a live deal analysis. Everyone says you look like a great chef, Adon. They all want what you're cooking. Renee, good to see you. So, Ambassador, just come in here into the school group, make a post with the pitch deck or the pro forma, and we'll pull it up here onto the screen. Just come in
Renee.
here to the.
And then tomorrow we're
community
going to the foreclosure sale. Give me a call after this.
Renee, we got a good one going tomorrow. If we can get it, I think it'll be the cleanest foreclosure we've ever bought on the island. We probably won't get it, but we got to go prepared.
You gotta think that you're gonna get one of them if you keep going.
If we keep going, we're going to get one.
Guys, we've been going to the foreclosure sale all on the north side of the island. If you are interested in foreclosures in Puerto Rico, we just had a really good master class on it. Send me a message. I'll send it to you. It was 2 hours with Roberto Segui, who is just a monster. He was a banker for 15 years. Just a really sharp guy. He was running foreclosures. Now he's buying foreclosures. Really knowledgeable. If you guys want a copy of that masterclass, if you weren't able to come, just send me a message. Renee is asking, where is the deal?
It's in Manatee.
And it's
We'll
pretty
talk about
exciting.
it
It's a really nice home. Someone's living in there, and it's in great condition.
I made a video. I could put it out as a little short. I could put it in our chat, you guys. I'll after we're done here, I'll put it out, even though it'll be late at night.
Laura is interested in a copy of the masterclass. Come into school here. It's a free account, and send me a DM, and I can give you the link. Guys, this show works best when we're answering questions. Jay sent me a link. So if you guys have any questions about real estate, put them here in the chat. We're happy to talk about anything. I'm going to pull up Jay's pro forma here. Let's see what he's got.
So while you do that, I was thinking about what you were talking about, the no more, what's it called, taxes on property.
Yeah.
that's gonna kill the tax deed sale, right? So what would be your strategy after that? How do you now have an advantage on trying to get good deals over there?
Well, you'd lose that, right? You definitely wouldn't be buying properties at a tax deed sale, so that would go away eventually. I'm sure that
Hmm.
wouldn't go away instantly because there's a bunch of people that still haven't paid their taxes, but that would go away eventually. Um, which I think is good for homeownership, and really with property taxes, you never really own it, right? You always have to pay those taxes. So even though you work your ass off to get your home and you pay it off, and you still got to pay the taxes. And we see people losing things for taxes every day. I mean, it happens all the time. So you lose that, but you pick up extra value because people are going to be able to have more money in their bank account. People are going to be able to afford a little bit more. I,
Do
I
you
think it would
think
be a
that
really, really good thing for the state of Florida, especially for people who want to own a house, want to own a home, or real estate investors who want to own a bunch of homes.
so I think that the tax deed sale is a really good way, a very efficient way to get abandoned properties back into circulation. Do you think
Hmm.
that it leads to issues where we have, like in Puerto Rico, where there's abandoned property um, that there's no taxes owed, and then
Yeah,
it just sits there?
but we have strong blight laws. So even though the tax deed sale could go away, municipal foreclosures wouldn't go away. So the code enforcement goes out and they start cutting the grass because it becomes a blight. Then they can put those on a track to foreclose on them. So I think there would still be that.
Okay.
Um, that doesn't happen in Puerto Rico either, right? Like, so in Puerto Rico, you don't pay your property taxes, you don't take care of your property, it becomes abandoned and ugly, and really no one can do anything about it. There is estorbo público, but that's a super long process and it doesn't happen all that often. I don't see Florida going that way though, McKenna. That they're Johnny on the spot, right? Like if you don't cut your grass for a month, they're going out there and cutting the grass and sending you a bill.
I got a bill the other day for it was like $300 for
Yeah, you do
one.
not want the municipality cutting the grass. They are the
No.
most expensive lawn service you can get.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a bummer. I've
yeah.
got Jay's presentation here. Let me put it up on screen, and we can check out what Jay's got going on. If you guys weren't here earlier, Jay just joined the community recently, and he is putting together a deal here.
Jay,
So,
you might want to put your contact information in the chat here too if you haven't already done that.
and he is in the school community, guys. So if you want to reach out to him there, and Jay, I would recommend you make a post with this info as well. Tell people what you've got going on. But this is the Grand Monarch near Houston, Texas, in Montgomery. Let's see what we've got going on here. 18 to 20% IRR, annual distributions, 5 years. Well, we love 20% over 5 years every year. Overview. 140,000 per unit. They're purchasing it for 16.75 million. All right. Trying to get to the financials here.
You're butchering Jay's presentation, McKenna.
Yeah, AJ, this is how I look at presentations. I skip all this crap. I just want to look at the financials.
Show me the math.
Show me the math. Deal review. Properties being purchased at a price below replacement cost and appraisal value. Instant equity. Love that. Lease both properties at 90% occupancy over the first 6 months. Leverage owner financing for lease up phase until owner debt metrics can be achieved. Jay, I'm sure you probably would say if I was doing a good job, but what kind of owner financing are you getting on this? The landscaping, a walking trail, tenant experience with some outdoor recreational areas. You're going to spend 275,000 at Grand Monarch and 450 at the Eagles Nest and renovation. Projected revenue increases. Okay. Great. Okay, so he's getting 1.6 million in rents in 2025. I assume that's the current rent roll. And he's saying that he's getting a 0% seller financed until 90% occupied seller financed.
Wow. That
That's
sounds
pretty
fun.
exciting.
That's very exciting.
How much do you have to put down? Maybe it probably says here in the financials. You've got rents increasing by, what's that, like 20%?
10%.
10%. Other
Right.
income. It's definitely making some big jumps.
Yeah.
I guess it's 120 units though.
Yeah.
It averages out to 50 a door.
Yep.
Cash flow after debt service. Love that it's making money. Okay. So we're borrowing $13.1 million, raising 5.25 million with a total of 18.35. So this debt is all seller finance, Jay.
Wow.
And GP is putting down 500 to 700,000 combined purchase price, capex. Okay. %8 pref with a 2% GP catch up. It's a 70-30 split to 20% and then 50-50 after 20%. Man, these waterfall structures are nuts. They just do not make very much money for the GP.
This is the kind of deal, McKenna, that we would look at doing if we or once we raise our fund.
Yeah, I'd certainly lend on this.
Definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
even though you'd go in a second position behind a 0% interest seller held, that would certainly be worth doing.
Yeah. Well, if they're bringing 5 million to the table, I assume they're not going to lose that money. So I'd probably do, and I guess you'd loan direct to the fund on that 5 million. 4% in the first year, 25% in year two, and then it drops back down to 6.8, 7.3, 7.9.
Yeah, because they're going to do a big renovation, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, does it make sense that there's what's the drop off in year three?
Well, he gets the big increase because of a renovation, I think, right?
Return from
What is it, a
capital
hotel
event-
project?
Oh, he's doing some kind of capital payback in year two. Are you doing a big refinance?
Okay.
Yep, he's got it here in the chat. Refinanced in 12 to 18 months, which calls for 20 to 40% of initial investment return.
Wow.
Now, so that's pretty exciting. Total return LP shares.
Jay, how'd you find this deal? Have you done a deal like this before? And I assume you're a part of the GP.
All right. Well, here's the team. We've got Evan, Pavel, David. I'm looking for you, Jay. Jay, you're not in the pitch deck. You gotta get in there. It's definitely the kind of deal I would lend on. When you look at them, I think as a lender we could get refinanced out in year two. We'd probably have to be. Jay, a question I have with the refinance: if you're only refinancing 40, I think it said 40% of the contribution, is the seller getting moved to a second position? Do I understand that right?
No, he's probably paying off 100% of the seller finance and then 40% of the initial equity investment.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
guessing. I'm guessing.
I'm guessing. Appraised at 21 million. They're buying it for 17. Should we bring Jay onto the call? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Jay, I'm going to send you a link in school to come up on the call here. What else is going on while I get Jay here onto the call?
Adon's busy cooking. Adon, how we doing?
Got the rice going, rice with corn. The beef is done.
Jay, I just sent you the link.
Nice.
Go into the school and you'll be able to hop in onto this call.
Adon, is this meal just for you? You and the baby?
This meal's got to last me a week.
It's gonna last you a week.
I love it.
Cook one
'Cause
time.
I cook it and then I'm never home to eat it.
Yep.
While we're waiting on Jay, Greg, I was in Rincon today and returning to Orlando, saw 2 properties looked abandoned. How do I get assistance in finding the owner and making an offer?
Adon, you need to chime in here. So if you're in our
Um,
Apex group, you can reach out to Juan
Okay.
Perlam. He specializes in chasing abandoned properties and finding the owners. Typically, what happens on the island when you see things like that, it's not one owner, it's many owners, and so it's a chore. Getting assistance, I mean, there's probably not. You don't get assistance. You go do the work, or you just will bleed money paying to try and chase those things down.
Something else I would add to that is if you look it up and it's owned by an LLC, then you can go find the LLC registry in the database, in the state database, and try to track down somebody through there. Sometimes there's never a name or anything like that, so it's really difficult. And if it's somebody's name, good luck. If you figured out how to do that, I want to talk to you.
And if you're standing in front of the property, you can gather some information through the Regrid app.
Or the neighbors.
You can talk to neighbors for sure. They may be able to assist.
I
If
feel
you
like
can
that's
find
the
the,
best
if you can
connection.
find the CRIM number or the catastro number, it's called, then you could look it up and you can see. You can find a lot of stuff with that. You can see what back taxes are owed and that kind of stuff. So you can kind of figure out how long it's been sitting in that condition. It won't necessarily give you the name of all the sellers or anything. It's not like you can go in Florida. If we drove by a house and we had an address, we could just go onto in Orange County, Florida. We could just go onto the property appraiser site and stick the address in there, and it would tell us who the owner is. Unfortunately, it's not that easy on the island. So
Our strategy with that, Greg, is we only buy things that are for sale. We have run down the rabbit on these properties, and sometimes you do get luckies. And Juan Perlon, for example, specializes in it, and he makes a lot of money doing it. But it is just much easier to buy something that is already for sale, that they want to sell, and just look at a lot of properties for sale, at least in our experience. Jay is in the. Anything else you want to add on that, Robert?
no, that's exactly right. It's a difficult road.
Yeah. I'm going to add Jay here to the call.
I'm
Jay,
here.
how's it going?
Hey Jay,
Yeah, hi.
how are
So
you?
how'd you come into contact with this deal? Are you a capital raiser? For that
Just a
group, or-
minute. I am hearing both like the YouTube as well as our.
Just close YouTube down.
Just 1 second. Yeah. Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you fine.
Okay. Okay. So I have been part of this team, and these are all experienced multifamily investors, and also some of them are Canadian. So I am from Canada, and so if you see the last 4 or 5 slides, we have that GP team formed. So, in fact, earlier I happened to pitch them some deal in mobile home, and that is how I got connected, and we are part of it. They had already formed the GP team, and I got into capital raising for this. So I am working with Arlet in raising the capital for this project.
Are
So,
you usually a
the
wholesaler?
history on this project is like there is a 48 unit apartment building which was completed in 2023, and it was sold to a buyer. The buyer could not arrange for the gap funding, and so he turned back to the developer. So developer completed this 48 unit, and he was in process of completing a 72 unit building. So while the buyer failed to arrange for a gap funding, so now these both became available. So the developer happened to make a deal with the GP team.
Why was he unable to get the gap funding? Is it because the units weren't leased, or?
No, I don't know about the buyer, what happened with the buyer, because that was a different buyer, but they had a financial distress in their side, so they had to give it back to the developer. So developer entered into he made deal sweeter by putting 72 unit and 48 unit both together. So now what's happening is that because this is a new construction, there is minimal to no maintenance, but whatever we are going to add is all the amenities like the covered parking or the pet spa or other amenities, landscaping, and so on. So those are the things. So there are 40 one bed, one bath, and 80 two bed, two bed units.
Does the GP have a lender identified for the 2-year refinance?
Sorry?
Does the GP have a lender identified that they want to use for the refinance in year 2?
No, that is it is still. So this is still in the initial because initial first by March we are right now we are working on closing, and subsequently we'll be working on lender, and I am also helping them on side of lender to get the $2 million worth of line of credit also.
It's a big deal. That's a lot bigger deal than we normally talk about on our Monday Night Power Hour. But I'm glad that you shared it with us. And
in fact, your volume is low. I can't hear you. Are you able to
you guys
hear?
can't hear me?
Because what happened is because I got onto the backstage, the YouTube I happened. It was also giving me the YouTube and.
Robert, I think you need to speak up a little bit on your end.
Are you
Hey
able
Jay,
to
you're
better
really
now? I
Jay,
think
you're
I
really
turned the
loud.
volume up a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah, you're doing good, Robert. I can hear you. Jay, can you not hear us?
Now I can hear you better.
That's yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Robert, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying thank you for sharing the deal with us. It's a bigger project than what we normally talk about on the Monday Night Power Hour. So it's a fun change of pace to see something like this. I mean, we love seller financing. We like 20% returns. I think, Jay, if you're in the flip flop community, you might want to bring this over to the Apex community. I think Jack Krupe is a member in Apex, and Jack is someone who has a fund that you could talk to about financing this. This is the kind of deal that his fund looks for. It's the kind of we're raising a fund right now, but we don't have it set up. So this is the kind of deal that we would be looking for probably a year from now. Yeah.
And
Any other things you want to say about your deal?
This is one of such deals. I do have other deal, which is in Canada. There is also one deal in Canada, and I am working on similar deals, like not of the same size. It may vary, like it can be also smaller, but the uniqueness and the good. This is a good deal because it is cash flowing day one. Secondly, you are not like you are already getting it is appraised high, and you are getting seller financing 0% seller financing until 90%. That's attractiveness.
For sure,
And,
that's beautiful.
and more so, like with 750K of investment in amenities, it is also taking raising the, so definitely we are like um, it is kind of a conservative, whatever projections are given are conservative, but it says 25% of in year two, 25% of return of capital. I would say it can be more than that. It is more likely to be more than that based on what we are expecting.
And just so if somebody sees this live now, that's Monday Night Live, if they see it Tuesday or Wednesday, how can they get a hold of you?
Okay, so I can provide you my contact, and also, like, if we want, I can also bring in the team to present it as a webinar, or I can provide a webinar link. We can coordinate a webinar as well. So we are looking to close it, though it's like we are trying to close this thing in March if possible. So,
Okay.
so we can definitely send an invite, and I can organize that way.
How much money have you raised so far for the equity?
I think there are two commitment, like a two soft commitment, I guess,
Yeah.
up to $1 million or so. So we are
Okay.
looking for about $3 million,
About $3 million still to
between
raise.
2 to 3 million. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So
Jay,
if you're
And-
watching this
and
and you're an
also-
accredited investor and you want to
And-
jump into an exciting deal in Texas, reach out to Jay, and you can either
and also
and
directed IRA investment. So right now it's the right time to get in if somebody is interested.
great. Thanks very much, Jay. We appreciate you coming on. You guys, I put the link to the school community. If you want to reach out to Jay, you can find him there. Other than that, we'll move on. Jay, thanks so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it, man.
Jay, appreciate that.
I can.
Congratulations on the great deal. I hope you
Yeah,
get it done.
I also share my contact info, email address in the chat.
Perfect.
So
That's right.
Which chat? Did you put it in the?
let me
comment
send
section?
it to you. Let me send it to you, and you can place it in.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Robert, are you there? We lost you.
Yeah, I'm here. I was
Maria
looking for his
is
contact
asking-
info in the chat, but I didn't see it.
Maria's asking, I would like to join the free masterclass. Can you send me the address or email, please? Maria, I put the link for the free community, the Flip Flop Flipper Real Estate. And also, guys, that's where you can reach Jay. You can send him a direct message in this community. He's going to put our contact info, but if you're seeing a recording of this, come and join the community to send him a DM. Maria, if you're looking for the foreclosure masterclass, send me a message on this, and I will send it over to you.
And if you're looking to join Apex, it's our premium community, and we do teach a master class every Thursday night in that community. Last week we taught it on foreclosures. McKenna can share that one with you, but every week we have a different subject, and it's a little bit different format. It's we teach on a subject and then we do a question and answer session. So if you wanna kick it up a notch and join us over there, it's more like a mastermind than this Monday Night Live is. So
It's also a place where you're ask your questions directly. It's not a chat. You come up, you can ask Robert McKenna, whoever's the guest host there, and it's much easier than us trying to play detective and figure out what you mean by your question. So
Yes.
it's much more clear
Yeah,
over
I
there.
prefer that Thursday night masterclass inside of Apex to this format. I love that we get to do this on YouTube every week, and I'm really grateful to be able to share with you guys every week. But I like that format where we actually do question and answer face to face. Just a lot smoother.
What else is going on? Something I've been thinking about. So our deals, we do some smaller single-family home flips, anywhere from under 100,000 to we have some bigger hotel deals as well, more similar to what Jay was just presenting. As an investor, do you guys prefer the littler small flips, or do you prefer the hotels? And I'm thinking from the investor standpoint, not from your side as an operator. What do you think is better? What are the pros and cons for both?
Well, I think anybody can start with a single family house flip. Like we say that all the time, right? Like, and I was having a conversation with a young man earlier today, and he was presenting a deal and saying, "Hey, I want to wholesale this house." And I'm thinking, okay, if you wholesale it, maybe you're going to make $5,000 or $10,000. Is that going to change your life? No, but it looked like a good deal. One where if he actually did the flip, he could make between $50,000 and $80,000, which would completely replace any revenue. I mean, he told me, he said, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I said, so if you get an extra $5,000, it's going to be great, and that's nice. But if you somehow fight to keep this great deal and become a real estate investor by buying it, fixing it, and selling it, he could change his freaking life. I mean, even if he made 30 to 50 grand, that's more than he generally would make in a year. So I like these smaller deals, McKenna, especially for people who are just starting out. And I guess I also like them because that's how I've made most of my money. Even though we are doing the bigger deals and they're fun too, that's relatively new for us. I mean, we came to Puerto Rico to buy small multifamily properties to keep as rentals and to buy single family homes to fix up and sell. And then we sort of fell into this hospitality gig where we're doing much bigger deals. And while they're very fun, I still find myself always kind of looking at the single family flips and getting back to buying a small apartment building and keeping them as long-term rentals. And these deals that I've done for 27 years are really the ones that I say all the time. Anybody can do this, right? Like you don't have to have any money. You don't have to have great credit. It's just about go out and find a great deal. The one I was talking to the young man about earlier, he found a property that he could buy, I thought, for between 50 and 60,000 that maybe needed 30 to 50,000, but would sell for $180,000. That's a pretty phenomenal deal. And that's an easy one to go find the money on. So anyways, for the reasons of thinking about who mostly probably watches us, I think those smaller deals are where it's at, because one deal can change your life, can get you out of the rat race, and you become a real estate investor. And then go build apartment buildings and hotels and hospitals or whatever you want to do. But finding a single family house is not that difficult. And buying it, fixing it, and selling it, and making a chunk of money, it's not that hard.
That's exactly I think the biggest difference in me that I see between these two types of projects is the single family home flip you can do as a 1 or 2 person team. It's pretty fast, under a year. When you go and get these bigger projects, you can make substantially more money, but it's a 5-year time frame, a 10-year time frame. You get paid, if you're the operator on these at the end of those, and you'll make a significant amount of money. But if you're looking to get started, I think those single family home flips are, just an amazing place to be. And you can make a great amount of money doing those flips. Adon, I've got you on mute if you're back here. Okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
prefer small flips. I'm doing the big renovations now. It's exactly what McKenna says. If you want money in a couple months, focus on small flips. If you're willing to wait, the payoff is better. It could take a year, it could take 5, but you know, if you want something now, flips are where it's at. And for the amount of work you're gonna do, trying to call 100 people to sell them a house for 5 grand, you might as well just do the same work and just raise the money.
That's
Go
the
for
thing
it.
too. I hear from a lot of people that want to get into wholesaling. They do all of the work to find these deals, and then they're just worried about raising capital. It is not difficult to raise capital on a really good deal. I'm sure Jay could attest. If you have a phenomenal deal, investors come to you. They get excited. They want to be in your deals. So it's really not that scary of a process. And if that's something where you guys feel stuck, you're looking at deals and you're worried that you're not going to be able to pay for them, I really would encourage you to move past that and join our community, talk to people about deals, and you'll see that there are investors out there that are looking for the deals that you're able to find. Guys, any questions in the chat here? We've still got a couple more minutes before we have to get off. Love to see what everybody's working on, what you guys are stuck with. Robert, have you made any offers this week? I know it's only Monday.
This week? No, I don't think I did make an offer today. We did last week after we went to a foreclosure sale. We stopped by a house, and I was talking to Adon and Renee, who's in Apex, and it's like, well, we're here. I might as well make an offer. And when I called to get the price, it was already a good price, and then they came back and lowered their price quite a bit. It's something that I think is a good deal, and I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I'm still negotiating. I wanted to get, when they didn't take my lowball cash offer, they're asking 180. I offered 80. They
Yeah.
came back at 150. I then tried to change it to a seller finance deal. They didn't take it, so I'll probably go back with another offer later this week at something still cash, but a little less than 150. Although I think it's a good deal at 150. It keeps calling me. Sometimes they just keep calling me, and then I end up having to buy them.
What does it need, and what do you think it's worth?
It needs a lot, but I could do it as a flip. I think we could build it out into a 8 or 9 room guest house, and then it's in a really nice area, a couple blocks from the beach. So I think it could be something that I'm all in for $500,000 and sell for $1 million, $1.2 million.
Yep.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah, we saw it. It's really cool. So if you remember the surfing turtle, it's basically a surfing turtle, but it's just in a different part of the island.
Yeah. Let me show people, if you guys aren't familiar with the Surfing Turtle, that is a smaller guest house that Robert did a couple years ago. You guys recently just exited it.
Yeah, I think last year now. Well, yeah, last year. This time last year.
I'm going to pull it up on the screen here. How did the Surfing Turtle work? What was the purchase price? What was the renovation amount? What did you guys sell it for? I know you operated it for a couple years.
It was a fourplex when we bought it. It was owned by a slumlord. It was mostly vacant. I think there was one lady living in one apartment paying $400 a month. We moved her out and then turned it into a 7-room guest house. And we got Act 74 at the time. It was called Act 74. But we got 30% tax credits eventually. We did finish the renovation and operate that as a guest house for about 2.5 years, something like that, I think.
I thought it was 4 years.
It could have been 4 years. I think
I
we
think
owned it. We owned it.
I
4
took one of the
years.
last years. So.
We owned it 4 years completely for sure, from start to finish. But there was a year or so of renovation. So I think we only managed it for 2.5 or 3 years, and then we sold it for about $1 million. So we had about 480 in it. We got some tax credits back, and we ended up selling it, I think, at 900.
Dang.
That's not bad. Yeah. And you think you could do maybe even a little bit better on this new one?
And I don't think that we have to operate it. So I think this is in such a good place that we could buy it, build
Sell
it,
the dream.
and sell it to someone who's going to run it. And maybe even just not go through any of the act. Just buy it, fix it, and then sell it to someone and then let them come in at the higher purchase price and get 40% tax credits back and operate it as a guest house.
They're trying to sell. They're. Oh, here you are in the photo. I think that's you and Dave.
That's Dave and
And is
Robert.
that Jesse?
That's
Look at that.
me, and that's Jesse's wife, Frankie.
Frankie. Yeah,
That's Frankie. I don't know who was sitting next to me. Was that Dave?
I think that's Dave. That's funny.
It's
You're in
Dave.
the Airbnb photo.
Yeah, that's Dave. There I am. How about that? What are they trying to sell for?
$1,200 a night for the entire hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had it set up.
Why are they doing it that way? Do we know?
Well, because that's something I put in before we sold the hotel. And what I found is when you have big groups like of 20 plus and want to stay in one place, if you can offer the hotel completely, you can get a way better nightly rate. And it's easier because it's everybody at one time and they all leave at one time. Now the
That is pretty
turnaround,
cool.
depending on how much people you have coming after them, could be a little difficult because you got to wash and clean everything at the same time. But it's definitely a lot less headache compared to like I have to manage 7 different groups of guests in 7 different rooms, and one thing happens, it's just can get really complicated.
Looks like they're asking for 110 a night on a regular room here.
On that two queen room.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's a hotel that we did in the past. Sarah is asking, you only buy properties in bad condition for reselling, or do you buy for repair and rent?
I do both. So I prefer to keep things for a long time. Most of what we've done for the last 3 or 4 years has been buy and hold. Recently, because we're going to the foreclosure sale and we've got a group of people that are interested in it, we are looking at flips again. But my preferred method is just buy it, get it rented out, stabilize the rents, and collect the cash flow and keep them for a long time.
And then Jay is asking all 3 of us, what markets are you in and what's our buy box?
Puerto Rico, baby.
McKenna's in Central Florida.
Yeah, and I'm looking for fun commercial units that I can triple net lease, anywhere from a couple thousand square feet to something a little bit bigger, a strip mall type situation. I'm also doing single family homes, up to 4 units. I have a really good lender on those types of deals. I'm currently looking for flips. I really like hoarder houses that I can come in, renovate, sell. I don't really want any long-term residential rentals, single family, but I would do some flips. Robert, what about you?
Yeah, so we're looking at small to medium-sized multifamilies on the island of Puerto Rico. What's that? That's 4 units up to maybe, well, as many as we can get, but 50, 60, 80 units, something like that. I haven't really seen a lot of bigger apartment complexes on the island, but I would be interested in those as well. And we want to do those just to buy and hold, make them long-term rents, collect some cash flow. And then I'm looking for flips from the foreclosure sale with Adon. So,
Adon, what about you? What are you looking for?
I'm focusing right now on foreclosure flips. I like single family distressed houses right now. I want to build up cash to start investing in long-term rental stuff later, hopefully by the end of the year. But right now it's just as fast flips as we can.
I love it.
yep.
That's what I want.
Retirement cash flow. I think that's Mike. We're interested in turnkey West Puerto Rican multifamily. Mike, are you retirement cash flow? That's not Aaron, is it?
No, Aaron's
one of the
Adobe something.
Yeah. You guys have any West Puerto Rican multifamilies?
Yes,
Uh,
Robert has a bunch.
do
And
I?
Arecibo?
I sold a duplex in Arecibo today. Well, at
Nice.
least I came to an agreement on it. We haven't closed.
Oh, who'd you sell to? That guy that was doing the seller financing offers?
Actually, someone who had made an offer before him. So we'd been going back and forth, and we finalized the number today. So that happened. I have a triplex in Des but it's not. I wouldn't call it exactly rent ready. It's close. We renovated. It needs a turn. We lost our tenants, and I'm looking for the same thing. So, although I don't normally buy turnkey. I will buy turnkey, and I'd like to find turnkey like the guy told us about earlier, where you spend $100,000 and have something throw off $25,000 McKenna a year. That would be great. I'd love to buy those kind of projects, but most of the time I'm buying the stuff that needs the value add, just because I guess that's what I put myself out there as, and that's what I look at a lot. And we don't mind doing the work, but we want to get at the end of the day, we want to get 25% return on our money or better when we do that kind of deal.
Robert's blind to the pretty stuff, guys. I've been in the car long enough with him,
That's true.
and he'll smell out the ugly ones and be like, ah, that one, and then he'll be staring at a pretty one. It's like he doesn't see it. It's like a mirage to him. They're not there.
Yeah. That is probably a mindset shift that I could focus on. Because I do tell myself, I'm like, how are you going to get a good deal if it doesn't need any work, right? But that's not really true. There are good deals in even the pretty stuff. You just structure it a little bit different with seller financing and things like that. So
Maybe.
I might have to rethink that and change my mindset.
All right, guys, that's 6 o'clock. Anything else we want to get to before we sign off?
I'm
Guys,
going to
join
be
Apex. We're gonna have
flying next week from New York back to the island, so I'm going to miss the Monday Night Live. So you're going to be with Adon and McKenna next week, but they'll hold down the fort.
Maybe I'll cook some stew next week. We can have a little cooking class.
it'll be the best turnout ever.
We can talk about our stories, Don, how we learned from Robert, and now we're each doing
Oh,
our own.
that could be
business.
really fun.
That could be good. We can
like
poke
that.
some fun at him too.
Oh yeah.
So
Join
if you guys
Apex,
wanna hear
guys.
from Robert-
This week we're having a Thursday night masterclass. McKenna will let you know what it's about, because I don't know what it's about. And it's really exciting stuff. Last week we had Roberto Segui talking about foreclosures, and he brought it up here again. But it was a really good masterclass. It's really, really exciting when you get these big guys in there talking about, it's just, imagine I'm going to foreclosure sales almost every week, and I'm still learning every day almost something new that I didn't know before. So definitely don't miss it. It's going to be a good one. I'll see you guys there.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming tonight.
All right, guys, everybody hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already done that. We need that thumbs up.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.